Hey guys, this is the first video of many on a brand new journey to Australia and Taipei. I'm going to be playing a bunch of tournaments, whether it's WPT or APT. These prize pools are going to be massive, so I can't wait to release them all. Hoping for, fingers crossed, some deep runs coming along the way over the next couple weeks. But huge announcement I wanted to make. Of course, there's a huge thing going on with WPT and Club WPT Gold. $5 million free roll. I'm giving away this very nice Rolex that I'm bringing with me and hoping to actually hand deliver this to someone in Las Vegas. That would be really cool. But on top of that, I am giving away 1% free roll to anybody that signs up through my link. They have a chance to win a 1% free roll of any tournament cash for the next foreseeable future. As long as I'm with WPT, hoping that relationship and partnership lasts for a very long time, I'm giving away 1% of the tournament cashes here. So over the past 4 years or so, I've cashed for over $3.5 million in tournament earnings, and I want to find a way to support you guys, the people that have supported me the most throughout this entire journey. You guys have given me the opportunity to travel the world, secure a WPT partnership with a brand that's super reputable, and allow me to introduce you guys a whole new opportunity to play online poker that's coming to America finally. So if you use my link in the description below, anyone that enters has a chance to win 1% of any tournament cash for, I don't know, for forever almost, for the rest of my life maybe. Whether I min cash a tournament or even bank something massive like the 25K a couple of years ago, everyone that enters will have a chance at winning 1% of that total cash. So thank you so much for supporting me over the past 5 years of this YouTube channel, and I can't wait to see what happens. If you want to sign up, link in the description below, and let's get this journey started to Australia. Straight out of a 14-hour flight. This is the only time and only place I'm very happy to fly 14 hours on an airplane for. Landed in the one and only Australia. Landed in Brisbane, so we have like an hour-long trip to the Gold Coast for WPT Gold Coast, and let the Australia vlog begin. Clearly see, it's day one or night one up here in Australia, and the tournament series just started. So we're gonna play the opener event. It's a $1,500 Aussie buy-in called the opener. We're gonna max it and see how it goes. Finally, some time for poker after a long day of traveling. Start off with 40,000 chips, end up at level 12 with about 15,000. Blind it down a little bit, and I pick up King 8 of spades in the small blind at the 2,500 big blind level. There's an early position raise to 5,000, and with like 6.5 big blinds in my stack, seems like a good spot to be all in here with a suited king, and I do that. Get called by 10-9 suited from the early position. So we're all in for my tournament life, and well, the guy flops a 10, but I turn a king, and then he rivers a queen for a straight. So yeah. Day one in the books, long travel day and breaking the first bullet, but hey, gotta be ready for more of this. To be honest with you, this is gonna be an unfiltered, unedited, it'll be edited, but I'm gonna show you guys all the bullets, all the madness that comes into traveling for poker tournaments, and a little bit of pain. So, you know, starting off 0 for 1 in bullets, but it is what it is. On to day 2 tomorrow, wishing us the best of luck. Good morning, welcome back to day 2. This is not day 2 of a poker tournament because I'm bad at those things. Day 2 of Australia, and I look homeless. But Nicole and I are a little jet lagged, a little bit of jet lag, but we're walking around. We woke up at 5 a.m. today and decided to get breakfast. And that's why we look a little homeless, but it's okay. Australia is so perfect that there's no homeless here, so we will contribute to that. Bringing a little bit of LA into this paradise of Gold Coast. How was your breakfast?
It was so good. Everything's fresh here.
Yeah, food's good here. I don't know, I feel like there's gonna be like more life and food and whatever than like poker, even though technically I'm here for the poker, but every single time I'm here in Australia, I feel compelled to just show you guys how good it is. It's like almost like an advertisement to get every single one of you guys that watch these videos to come to Gold Coast for one reason or another. I'm not even like, I'm trying to actually like look into living here more permanently, But yeah, I feel way more compelled to like show you guys like the lifestyle and all of that versus the poker that you guys have seen all over the place wherever I go. So a little bit of a change of pace for the vlog, maybe a little bit more lifestyle, more mukbang-ish. But I mean, overall, just like very grateful for the opportunity to be able to just come to Australia. If you asked me like 5 years ago if I ever thought I'd go to Australia for a poker tournament and be able to vlog it and film it, and like last year technically I won a tournament, like that would be really silly. So I appreciate all the support, and it's been a very fun ride the past couple of years, so that would be really silly. So I appreciate all the support, and if you guys enjoy the content, then it's a win-win. But I'm very excited about what we have going on later in the day. I'm gonna leave that as a surprise. Maybe it'll probably show up in like 5 seconds, but for now it's currently 8 a.m. Time for a nap, completely jet lagged. Really don't know how to adjust to the local time.
I'm turning all these red gyms to yellow gyms.
Actually, I lied. This isn't even a poker vlog anymore. It's just gonna be food and Pokemon Go.
7 hours later.
All right, currently going to max 1B of this opener. Fast forward at 7 p.m. and 1500 Aussie may go down the drain, or maybe we spin it up. I don't know. Didn't happen yesterday, but take 2 of this tournament. Let me know what you think about these hand histories where I talk about stuff, but let's go over something. Ace-Jack offsuit, 20K at the 1200 big blind mark. Early position raises to 2500 at 1200 big blind. I go all in with about like 17 big blinds, give or take, and he snaps it off with pocket kings. Oh God, I got an ace in a dream, and he flops a king, but I have backdoor hearts, and I'm dead on the turn. So here I am. You know, maybe you guys are getting like 2 minutes of breakfast food and then 30 seconds of poker. That is currently the realistic part of my trip so far. A lot of sightseeing and exploring the Gold Coast Broad Beach area, and very, very limited poker right now, but that's gonna wrap up day 2. So much for going to bed. The degen tickles kicked in about 45 minutes after I signed off, and one last tournament to fire today, because when in Australia at nighttime, honestly, let's go play some poker. I entered this $675 freeze out, max late reg this 20K starting stack at 800 big blind. Here we go, getting things started off. I pick up kings in the small blind. How sick is that? So finally thinking I'm gonna get some run good here. There's a hijack who raises it up to 2200. Very, very big raise. The button makes the call for 2200. Sitting with about 25 big blinds, I don't think I can really like non-all-in 3-bet, so decided to just shove it, considering it's a large open and it's gonna be multi-way and I'm out of position, so just rip it in there, and I get the original raiser to make the call. He's about 12,000 here, so I'm not all in for my tournament life, but I'm in good shape up against Ace-Jack offsuit. We end up flopping King 10 high. So things are looking pretty stellar for pocket kings here, to be honest with you. Turn Jack doesn't help him. River Queen, that is gonna help my opponent who hits a straight. So not going to win that one, unfortunately. So I ended up going from starting stack to about half starting stack immediately. Pocket kings and top set getting cracked. Then I pick up aces after tripping up a little bit here at the 1200 big blind level. I raise it up to 2400 under the gun off of maybe like 11 big blinds. So not a lot of chips here, to be honest with you, but middle position player and big blind make the call. Flop comes 994 rainbow. Action checks through here on this flop. Not gonna really c-bet this. Not really gonna have many hands that will call. Turn comes a 6 of spades, bringing in a backdoor flush draw though, and the big blind is just jams for my tournament life. So about like 12,000 left in the stack or something like that. We had similar size stacks. I obviously just snap call, and he has king 6. So lucky turn card for me as I win this one and double up here. So thinking that things are gonna go pretty smoothly finally, maybe. 8 kings and aces in this $675 freeze out. And then shortly after that, at the 1600 big blind level, I pick up king queen offsuit. With only 18,000 in my stack, it's a super turbo. I have maybe 11.5 big blinds or something like that. Quick math, probably wrong. I'm all in the hijack here. I shoved king queen O, and small blind rejams with ace queen offsuit. So I'm dominated, but hey, I'm not completely out yet, at least, right? Before, well, not much happening on the flop, and then he turns an ace and no 10 on the river for me to scoop for Broadway. So I'm out. So now I'm officially gonna say goodnight to you for day 2 of Australia. At least you can enjoy this very scenic, I don't know, just a lot of buildings, apartment building stuff, but yeah. 0 for 3 in bullets so far, which is pretty standard and normal. At least everything has been relatively friendly stakes for now. I would love to get a cash at some point, but I'm going to tally up how many bullets I'm in for and the progress. But day 2, 0 for 3, minus 3,675 Aussie dollars. Good morning. It's day 3 here in Australia, and welcome to what I would call my version of paradise. I mean, the view behind me is just incredible. I don't think the camera will really ever do it justice with how this looks, and probably gonna move to better lighting here, I think. But yeah, I really can't ask for more in life besides some orange juice, a book, and waking up to just like the most insane, beautiful view of the ocean and this area, and feeling really, I guess, I don't know, grateful today again. Just every time I wake up here in Australia, I'm just like pure happiness and bliss. And I'm reading this book by Bill Perkins called Die with Zero. I'm actually learning a lot. I would probably recommend it to a lot of people. It's about like financial stability and obviously learning from like a very successful billionaire, hearing his thoughts and inputs about life and how to maximize happiness and your time here on Earth and all the things. Very introspective, I feel like. A lot to reflect on. I would recommend the book. It was like 11 bucks on Amazon. It's kind of, I'm actually kind of shocked at how inexpensive books are for how much value that they have. I think this was like $11 or $15, I don't know, in an amount where you gain a lot of value by just spending time reading it, and for a very, very cheap cost in comparison to like online courses and learning about, let's say you want to learn about drop shipping, for example, you have to pay like $1,000 to, you know, read a bunch of, or not read, watch a bunch of videos and learn from them, versus find a helpful book or two. It's only like $15. But yeah, this is my mornings. Today there is a $1,600 mystery bounty, and I don't know if I'm gonna play it, to be honest with you. Not from poker reasons or whatever, but there's a market that's happening in this place called Surfers Paradise. It's another little like community area in the Gold Coast, and it only happens 3 times a week. And I missed yesterday's version of the market, so I really want to go today, and that might kind of conflict with max late regging this tournament, so probably not going to play. So hopefully I can showcase some of that on the video here soon. But for now, the sun is getting a little too hot. It's like currently 9 a.m. and I'm boiling in like black pants, and I'm getting very, very tan, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna bring my setup inside, continue my morning, and enjoying this nice little cup of orange juice. Playing poker, we're gonna gamble on axe throwing right behind me. $5 a head, there's 6 of us, and we're gonna keep score. Everyone gets 5 throws, and winner makes 25 bucks. Maybe, might be a good hourly for one lucky person. Oh! Sucko! He tied Serena?
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't bad. Oh, you suck, buddy.
Line.
I don't think it was online.
No, it was online.
Oh, Bubba. Oh. You just... 8 a.m. at an animal sanctuary means it's a koala breakfast time. I can't freaking wait. Oh my god. Oh my god. Munch, 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 munch. a long day of koalas and a whole off day yesterday. Maybe it's time to play some poker. There's like the FT of this 1500 opener that we bricked 2 bullets of, but now I'm gonna max the 1650 Aussie mystery bounty. So it seems like a fun one. Very cool mystery bounties on day 2, but gotta make it day 2 first. It's been a while since that's happened, but GL us. Alright, we got some hands to go over from my lovely little balcony. I feel like I wanted to give you a different perspective view, a little backdrop, but I got some hands to go over in the 1600 mystery bounty. So first things off, we start off with like 30 big blinds, and with 10-9 suited, max late regging this. I pick up 10-9 suited on the button, and there's a low jack raise to 2500. I make the call, and we are off to a flop of 8-4-4 rainbow. And my opponent starts off with a bet of 1500. It's like 1.3 big blinds, and I feel like I don't know what's happening here. Very, very small, like little tickle bet almost from the out of position player. I decided to raise to 5,000, maybe thinking that he can just be over c-betting and put a lot of pressure on ace highs, king highs, queen highs, all the stuff, and just get folds. But my opponent comes along for a call, so that's not great. Maybe I can improve with like a club or a pair. Turn is an offsuit 3, not the club variety. So action goes check, check, kind of just seeing what happens on the river. Seeing a free river card, which is a deuce. My opponent checks again. At this point, he has about a pot-sized bet left. I had more chips than him, actually. So I decided to go all in, putting him all in, thinking that he can just fold all of his ace highs and not really have much value as played. But he has pocket eights, almost. Oh my goodness. I almost got a full house to full. And now I'm immediately down to like a third starting stack, which is not very fun. Spoiler alert, things might not be going super great in this specific bullet, but then I pick up pocket 9s, 1600, big blind. I have like 30k, 20 big blinds in my stack. Under the gun opens, button calls, and I pick up 9s on the big blind off 20 bigs. I feel like in like a 9-handed environment, my hand can just call, and I late regged, but end of the day, like it's a mystery bounty, and let's gamble because having a big stack is worth it. So I'm all in, and Under the Gun goes all in himself. He has pocket 10s, so 20% to win, and you see the run out, and it's not going to go super well for me, which is why now I'm in the balcony. So far I think I've fired like 4 bullets, and I've played poker for maybe 2 hours total out of those 4 bullets. But there's going to be a 5K later tonight that I'm going to fire, and probably going to not max late reg, so I'll show up a little bit more on time for this one. So that's the plan. Maybe a little bit more poker to be had, but at least for now, look, this is how I feel about these traveling for these poker tournaments. Like, poker is whatever, I'm going to bust and do whatever, and at the very least, I get to be in beautiful Australia, even though I'm going through some pain in poker. Alright, on break of the 5K right now, and this is one of the few events that I care more about during this trip. Bigger buy-in, I'll show up early, all the things. So showing up at level 3, we start off at 250k starting stack. At the 1500 big blind level, we finally got to play some poker, and we'll get in some hands here. So I pick up ace-9 of clubs in the cutoff. EP raises to 4,000, I call, everyone else folds, so heads up to a flop of jack-9-4, all diamonds. Middle pair, top kicker, it's an okay board. My opponent throws out a bet of 3,000. Here seems like a pretty easy call. So we see a turn, which is a bink, 9 of hearts, which is pretty sick. Sitting with trips, top kicker, a little bit cautious because there's a flush still out there and all that, but my opponent fires again for 5,500. Really small bet, not really believing him, and definitely could like raise here, but playing so deep, I decided to just call, thinking my opponent has like a lot of garbage, to be honest with you, and kind of went back and forth whether I wanted to raise or call, but went with a call. River comes a queen, so board more connected, and then my opponent fires out 28,000, which is a good pot-sized bet. Facing that, don't think I have much of a decision besides call now, and he shows over a king-10 offsuit, so yeah, losing the first hand, and it feels bad because I just, you've seen throughout this entire video, I just keep losing hands over and over again, but didn't have a chance to really win that one besides raising the turn, so oh well. Then, next hand, picking up 9-8 of clubs in the hijack at the 2K big blind level now. I raise up to 4,500. We get the cutoff and big blind to make the call. Flop is ace-ace-10 to clubs. So flush draw, ace out there. Lovely spot overall. Action checks to me. I decided to bet 5,000. Could definitely go between a bet or check here, but with a flush draw and against two opponents, let's just put some money in the middle. The cutoff player calls in position, other person folds. So heads up, turn is the 3 of clubs, so banking a club is lovely. Here against this opponent, who is like not a professional, I'll just start firing money in the middle, and I put 15,000. And then he raises to 45,000, which I thought was really dicey. Like there's a world where I could probably start folding this hand, but not here. Obviously, that would be insane. So I just call without doing anything else on a paired board. And then river is the jack of spades, kind of a brick unless he has ace jack or whatever. But there's a handful of full houses, but not really super concerned. I check, my opponent takes some time, and then ends up checking this one back. So 9 high flush, going to win. Finally, first hand, day 4 of the vlog here in Australia. I win a pot. Happy to report that. Okay, with some momentum, at least what I think is some momentum at least. I pick up ace jack offsuit in the button 2K big blind. I raise it up to 5,000 and the big blind makes the call. Same opponent from last hand actually, so he's, I guess, capable of being pretty spicy. Flop is king 7-7, 2 diamonds, and I don't have a diamond in my hand. My opponent checks over to me. I just bet 4,000. Seems pretty standard. My opponent makes the call and continues. He thinks about it for a while, so I'm kind of confused with what he could have here. Seems pretty weak, but the turn is a 6 of diamonds, so the flush completes, and he leads for 10,000. Had some live read stuff going on. I don't know how credible they could be. I mean, I'm pretty rusty playing live poker, but when he leads for 10,000, I just don't think this makes a whole lot of sense given the bet size and how he acted on the flop. So getting spicy here with calling with ace jack high, no diamond, but maybe I can bluff at this on the river potentially. But I make the call for 10,000, and the river is the 8 of diamonds. So 4 to a suit, 4 diamonds out there, and then he fires out 18,000. I take my time, and I'm just like, you don't have it, right? Like, there's no way. It doesn't make sense to me for him to bet this size with a strong hand. So let's put him to the test. I raise it up to 54,000, and snap call. He has 10-6 offsuit. Come on, buddy. Didn't even sniff the opportunity of a fold, and a nice hand. Oh well, I guess I'm a massive fish trying to bluff this opponent. And it leads us to the next hand, which is a big one, ace deuce of diamonds in the hijack. At the 2,500 big blind mark, I open things up to 5,500. My opponent in the cutoff, buddy Mike Wang, he 3-bets me at 19,000. Action folds to me. I make the call with ace-2 suited. Seems good. Maybe could 4-bet sometimes, but gonna call here and we'll battle with our buddy. Flop is ace-king 7 rainbow. With a diamond, seems pretty decent. I checked it to him. He fires out 11,000. Small bet makes sense. Top pair, never folding. I'm in there. Turn is the jack of spades, bringing in a backdoor flush draw. Not my favorite card in the world here. Definitely has like jacks and strong hands, of course. King jack now beats me, and it's a card he's going to be firing out a lot of the time, so kind of annoying, but I check it to him, and he fires out again, as imagined, 33,000, about half pot this time. And obviously, Mike, very good player, and not going to be like over-folding top pair to him just yet, at least. So going to continue once again with respect to playing against a good player here in this hand. River comes what I thought is a pretty good card. It's a king. So board's paired on ace, king, 7, jack, king. And all things considered, I really like this card. I now have a jack kicker, and it's like very unlikely that he now has like a king for trips or a full house. So I check it to him, and I don't expect him to give up, to be honest with you, on this board texture. So he just goes all in. It's about like 70,000 to maybe like 60% pot. And I take my time, my full 30 seconds, because we're playing with time banks here, and I see a world where I can fold for sure. But not against Mike, who's very capable of having good hands and bad ones, of course. So yeah, whatever. I'm gonna flick in a call and hope that we can just chop sometimes, or we could have a bluff. Who knows? But he shows over king 10 offsuit for trips. So nice hand to my friend. I double him up, which leaves me back to crumbs. I'm a little bit salty, but at least the chips went to a good person. And we still have life in the tournament. And last hand before break, I pick up queen jack suited in the big blind with about 9 big blinds. Action folds the small blind. He puts me all in. I call. He has king 10 offsuit. The theme of this tournament here. And what do you know? We're off to a run out and king high wins. So I'm 0 for 3 versus king 10, specifically offsuit for some reason. And that's bullet 1. GG's. I lied about being on break. I'm actually sitting here on the couch because I'm dead. But I couldn't tell you guys that because that would spoil the next like 3 minutes of these hands. So now I'm gonna go rebuy. I just want to take some time to detail because, you know, as jolly as I can act after the 3 days of just getting destroyed and losing, this one, I'll be honest, pretty tilted. Just feels like I never have an opportunity to win. When I have a good hand, I die anyways, or the river comes, or something happens where I die. With either I have the best of it or I have the worst of it. It doesn't matter because I end up with no chips. And after a very repetitive process of losing, kind of affects the mental a little bit. So that's where I'm at. So at least I can talk to you guys, reset a little bit, and get back down there and rebuy for bullet 2 of this 5K. It's a tournament that I care about. The field is good. The poker is fun. I'm happy to be in Australia and all the things, but definitely needed some time to just like process and chill out. There's only about like 3 more or two more hours left in the night to play, so gonna try to make the most of it and go from there. I must say before I head back downstairs to play some cards again, if you haven't heard at all, if you've been living under a rock, there's a $5 million free roll happening this December in Las Vegas, and you can hop in if you're a resident of the US or Canada. So just sign up the link down below. It's a launch of a brand new site that's coming very, very soon to the US called Club WPT Gold. And I'm gonna be giving away 5 seats and announcing 5 winners every single week until the end of November. So if you want a chance to play in this $5 million free roll tournament with $1 million guaranteed, no buy-in at all, click the link, sign up down below in the description, and also pre-register to a brand new site coming to the US. It's super, super exciting, and it's gonna be a ton of giveaways. So, and I'm giving away a Rolex. So link down below, click it, all the fun things, and we're gonna go hop into bullet 2. Hopefully no more bullets, please, for today. You can only fire 3 max, so GLS. So I muster the courage to go register bullet number 2 after that little rant. Now let's get into it here because we've got a pretty interesting spot with ace-9 offsuit in the cutoff at the 5K big blind mark. So at 250K starting, we've got 50 big blinds effective, and I raise it up to 11,000 from the cutoff. Button makes the call, and everyone ends up folding, and we're off to a flop of ace-9, 3, 2 diamond. So top 2 pair, and against a pretty good pro here, makes somewhat of a difference of how I play this hand. I check it to my opponent here, cutoff first button, think I'm checking a lot, and then my opponent throws out a bet of 7.5 thousand. Here, I think like a lot of the time I would just call with top 2 pair, but given like the extremely small sizing, I opted to check raise, and I opted for a pretty small check raise. The size of the check raise probably could have gone a little bit bigger, but I thought he's betting too much for a small size, so I can just punish it by check raising more often with a small size as well. So I make it 22,000, and my opponent comes along for a call. So we've got some action here. And the turn is the 4 of diamonds, not the card I really wanted to see. And at this point, I feel like I am gonna be checking here with top 2 pair a lot of the time. It seems to make the most sense as I block a lot of value. And now, obviously, I lose to a flush, and we're playing somewhat deep. So I check it to my opponent, and he checks it back. So I gain a lot of information from him checking. Seems very, very unlikely my opponent will ever have a flush as played, so I can bet liberally on the river, and the river is the king of hearts, which is pretty safe and a pretty good card for me and my opponent too, I think. He could have some king highs with the diamonds that didn't want to bluff the turn, and this is for sure a river card that I'm going to be blasting out a lot on. So for those reasons, I bet for value with 2 pair. Obviously, I make it 55,000. My opponent goes into the tank for quite some time before making the call. So 2 pair, winner, finally. And that's the last interesting hand of day 1 of this tournament here. I ended up bagging 280,000. So, hey, still alive, which is nice. And we're gonna move on to day 2, fast forward. This is day 5 of this Australia trip. Day 2 of the 5K begins. Registration is still open, so nothing super significant going on. But I pick up ace queen offsuit in the cutoff at the 8K big blind mark. Under the gun raises up to 16,000. I make the call on the cutoff, and everyone folds. So heads up, the flop is king 7-4 rainbow. He makes a bet of 18,000. Ace queen high, think it's a good hand a lot of the time, and my opponent can be over c-betting, so I make the call in position. Turn is the jack of hearts, brings in a backdoor flush draw. Kind of convenient as I do have a heart in my hand. Now my opponent slows down for a check, and I opted to check this one back. Seems like a pretty medium strength hand. Too strong to bluff and too weak to bet for value, obviously. So gonna see a free river, which is the 9 of hearts. Very, very interesting card for my specific hand here. He checks for a second time around this river here, and now I just don't really see my opponent ever having a super strong hand. And I do think now at this stage, my hand has good properties to bluff and not much showdown, all things considered. So trying to fold out like smaller pocket pairs, maybe even challenge like a 9 or a jack. I bet 2/3 of the pot, 60,000, and my opponent goes in the tank before ultimately making the call. Annoying, show the ace queen high, and he has jack 10 suited. So another losing hand here, but I'm still alive in the tournament at the very least. Then I pick up ace queen offsuit once again, this time at the 12K big blind mark. Blinds increase very, very fast here. Low jack raises up to 25,000 off of about 18 big blinds. I'm on the button with ace queen off here, and I set the 3-bet here to 55,000. My opponent goes all in for 18 big blinds, obviously in there with ace queen. And we're up against ace queen of diamonds, so gonna be chopping just a lot of the time. The flop is all bricks besides 1 diamond, and I actually stopped recording before seeing, well, a sweaty turn, which comes the classic diamond. So now I'm getting free rolled, which is not very fun, and I just got a faded diamond, which comes. Yes, I lose ace queen to ace queen, and my opponent gets the little double up, and yeah, of course, running really, really hot here in Australia and the Gold Coast. But we still have life. Luckily, I had more chips than my opponent. And here, now I'm kind of not on crumbs, but 12 big blinds doesn't feel bad. The very next shuffle, I pick up king 9 offsuit in the cutoff. I went back and forth on what I wanted to do. I think I could fold sometimes, but ultimately I thought my hand was too good, even at this very short stack. So I raise it up to 24,000 at the 12K big blind mark, and the big blind defends and makes the call. So we're gonna see a flop of 9-8-7 rainbow. Hallelujah, top pair, good kicker, short stacked. We're getting it in no matter what happens for the most part. So my opponent checks it to me. I bet out 44,000. It's a significant chunk of my stack here. And my opponent goes in the tank for a little bit before going all in. Christ, I snap call. My opponent isn't super happy about it. And he shows over queen 6 offsuit. I am getting it in good. I'm ahead. Turn 5. Life over. River does not bring a 6 for a chop, and it's another 5, which means and that's it. Registration ended at this point, and I just make the walk back to my Airbnb here to talk to you guys. And I don't know. I'm just contemplating life. One of the things I really try to do to be like fully transparent is try to like say things I'm grateful for in my head, because when I bust a tournament, especially in such succession as this, and just not even like winning a hand on this vlog, it's in the past 5 days, I beat myself up pretty good, more than the average person, I would say. And I feel everything like internally and mentally, and I start to like lose faith in myself, in whatever, in life, and get really down to the dumps. So the first thing I try to do is like be grateful for a lot of things, and obviously like I'm overlooking this insane view that I want to show you guys here. Like, I mean, it's just really nice. Look, this is my view that I was looking at while doing this commentary. So obviously there's a lot that I can be grateful for. Being in Australia, being able to travel, being able to do exactly what I love. But man, I don't know if poker is the avenue for me, because I just start second guessing a lot of things, and it's been a tough stretch for the past 2 years, to be honest with you. Ever since I won the 25K, I've been losing ever since. You know, in tournaments, I'm down a good chunk over the past 2 years now, and it feels like it's a hole that's going to be really hard to climb out of, but that's just the variance and nature of this game. On top of that, cash games, obviously I punted $1 million. So nothing's really been going super great for me over the past 2 years. And the comments on the past videos obviously kind of reflect it. since I've just been losing and I haven't had results and everyone thinks I'm bad. And that kind of starts bleeding into my internal mindset of like, did I just get super lucky the first 4 years of me playing poker and I just sunned it? And now, like, what do I do? Like, I love the game, it's fun, but like the variance and nature of the swings is really hard. It's the buy-ins add up, of course. The time spent playing adds up as well, and the emotions of losing. I don't handle them as well as I could be, and I beat myself up a lot. So lots of like struggles and questions and self-reflection every time I feel this way. But I mean, I can just bitch and complain, but you guys have seen this video. I mean, I've shown like my whole week pretty much, and this is like an average week of playing poker and traveling to stops. You just sometimes never really have a chance to win. You show up and you pay your dues and you hope that one day down the line you get a payoff and a big reward and get very lucky. But maybe I already reaped all those rewards from the past like 4 years of playing poker, and now I'm just paying for all of them with run bad and whatever. So I don't know, maybe that big reward won't come again. But those are my thoughts. Welcome to a very realistic day in the week of my poker experience. Obviously very above average from like a life experience being in Gold Coast in Australia, and that's the main reason why I wanted to bring this camera and do more of like a lifestyle vlog, because you know, the poker is kind of the same everywhere for me, and I've been going through a tough stretch, but at least I can enjoy some positives from life. So that's it. I appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments below, to be honest with you, what you guys thought about the format of this video. If this is something that you guys are intrigued in and like and enjoy just the transparency and everything, then hopefully I can keep making more of these before I run out of money. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.